Welcome to Audiobook 365 Stories.
How is Nadezhda Nikolaevna? I asked the doctor as we entered a tent where toys were being sold. Pretty well. I think she's okay, the doctor replied, looking at a small soldier toy with a light purple face and a red uniform. She asked about you. What did she ask? Just general things. She's upset that you haven't visited them in a long time. She wants to see you and find out why you've been distant lately. You used to visit almost every day and then suddenly stopped. You don't even say hello. That's not true, doctor. I've just been busy and haven't had time to visit the Kalinins. My relationship with their family is still good. If I see them, I always say hello. But last Thursday, you didn't acknowledge her father when you saw him. I don't like him much, but I still have the manners to greet him and shake his hand if he offers it. Maybe I didn't notice him on Thursday, or I didn't recognize him. You seem upset today, doctor, and you're looking for an argument. I care about you, my dear friend, Pavel Ivanovich sighed. But I don't believe you. Didn't notice, didn't recognize. I don't need excuses. There's not much truth in them. You're a good man, but sometimes you act strangely without realizing it. Thank you for your honesty. Don't be offended, my friend. Sometimes it seems to me you have unpredictable moments. Despite your good nature, you sometimes do things that surprise those who know you as a respectable person. How strange. What animal is this? Pavel Ivanovich asked suddenly, pointing to a wooden toy with a man's nose, a mane, and a gray stripe down its back. A lion, the salesman replied lazily. Or maybe something else. Who knows? We left the toy booth and went to the fabric shops where business was bustling. These toys confuse children, the doctor remarked. They give them wrong ideas about animals. A lion like this, striped, purple, and squeaky. Who ever heard of a squeaky lion? Hey, doctor, I began. It seems like you have something on your mind that you're struggling to say to me. Go ahead. I don't mind hearing even if it's not pleasant. Whether it's pleasant or not, friend, you need to hear me out. There's a lot I want to discuss with you. Go ahead. I'm all ears. I think you might have some issues, Pavel Ivanovich said seriously. Let me explain why I think so. I don't mean to offend you, but we need to look at your behavior objectively, like we're examining a body part. Okay, let's be objective, I agreed. Great. Let's start with your relationship with the Kalinins. If you think back, you started visiting them right after you arrived in our district. They didn't seek your friendship at first. Initially, the justice of the peace didn't like you because of your proud manner, sarcastic tone, and your friendship with a careless count. You wouldn't have been invited to the justice's house if you hadn't visited first. Remember? You met Nadezhda Nikolaevna, and soon you were at the justice's house almost every day. Whenever anyone visited, you were there. They welcomed you warmly. They treated you like a friend, her father, mother, and little sister. They grew fond of you as if you were family. They were very impressed by you. They laughed at every joke you made. They thought you were very wise, noble, and polite. You understood this and cared for them in return. You visited them daily, even on busy days before holidays. And you know about Nadezhda's love for you. Is that right? Knowing she loved you deeply, you kept visiting every day. But then, suddenly a year ago, you stopped going there. They waited for you for a week, a month, and they're still waiting. They write to you, but you don't reply. You even stopped greeting them. For someone who values manners, this must seem very rude. Why did you end your relationship with the Kalinins so abruptly and rudely? Did they upset you? No. Were you bored? If so, you could have slowly ended things, not abruptly and rudely without reason. I stopped visiting, so now I'm a psychopath. I laughed. You're so naive, doctor. What does it matter if you end a friendship suddenly or slowly? It's more honest to end it suddenly, less pretending. But all of this is trivial. Let's say this is trivial or a private matter that doesn't concern others. But how do you explain what happened next? Like what? For example, you showed up at a meeting of our Zemstvo board one day. I don't know why you were there. And when the president asked why you weren't seen at the Kalinins, you said, "Try to remember what you said." "I'm afraid they want to marry me." You said this loudly during the meeting, so everyone there heard it. Wasn't that embarrassing? After your words, people laughed and made rude jokes about looking for husbands. Someone even repeated what you said to Nadezhda during dinner. Why did you insult them like that, Sergei Petrovich? Pavel Ivanovich stood in front of me, looking at me with pleading, almost teary eyes. Why such an insult? Why? Because this nice girl loves you? Let's say her father, like all fathers, wanted you to marry her. All fathers are like that. They look at you, at me, at others. All parents are the same. There's no doubt she loves you deeply. Maybe she hoped to be your wife. Is that a reason to hurt her feelings? Was it not you who encouraged her? You visited them every day. Normal guests don't go that often. During the day, you went fishing with her, and in the evening, you walked in the garden with her, making sure you were alone. You knew she loved you, but you didn't change your behavior. How could she not think you had good intentions? I was sure you would marry her. And you complained and laughed. Why? What did she do to you? Don't shout, doctor. People are staring at us, I said, moving past Pavel Ivanovich. Let's change the subject. This is just gossip. I'll explain quickly, and that should be enough. I went to the Kalinins because I was bored and Nadenka interested me. She's a very interesting girl. Maybe I would have married her. But when I found out you were interested in her too, I decided to leave. It would have been unfair to you, a good friend. Thanks for the favor. I never asked for this, and judging by your face, you're not telling the truth now. You're talking nonsense. And besides, me being a good friend didn't stop you from making some proposals to Nadenka in the summer house, which wouldn't have been good for her if she had married me. Oh-ho, doctor, where did you hear about this proposal? Your affairs must be going well if you know such secrets. But you look very angry, and almost like you want to hit me. And just now we agreed to be objective. Doctor, you're a funny guy. Well, we've talked enough about this nonsense. Let's go to the post office.